All right, I am here with Jasmine, the founder of Gooder, the CEO of Gooder, the leader that is changing our food deserts and making sure that our community is fed here in Atlanta and beyond. But we're going to talk to Jasmine a little bit today about why we're here. This is such a special day. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm such a fan. But first, just for the people who might not know, tell me a little bit about your background and what did you see in the community that led you to tackle hunger head on?
You know, I have been feeding people that have been experiencing food insecurity since 2013, so for over a decade now. And my background has really been in celebrity philanthropy. So I would help a lot of artists and entertainers start their nonprofits. And I found that I was really busy around back to school, Christmas, Thanksgiving. And I remember one year I said to one of my clients, you know, the people that are standing in line for a turkey in November are hungry in September as well. Like, it's not just like one day a year, once a month they're hungry. So I think I drove through downtown Atlanta when I had first relocated here. My sister was going to Spelman, and I just saw hundreds of people that were homeless. And I thought to myself, I should be the change I'm always talking about. So I created a restaurant series called Sunday Soul, and I just started cooking and feeding for people. And a video of that went viral, and people were saying who donated the food. And the truth was nobody. I was couponing, price matching, you know, figuring out all the ways to feed people. And Googling, I learned about food waste and was just blown away with how much perfectly good food goes to waste while so many people go hungry. And that was really kind of what birthed Gooder.
I love that. I love that. I think there is so much power in just standing in the gap. And it sounds like you were like, you know what? If no one else is going to do it, I will.
Do it, yeah.
And now you here,
Yes.
10 years later.
10 years, that's crazy.
With this company that literally is feeding people as we speak. What's so awesome is that Atlanta is known for so much wealth. It's known for so much Black excellence. But like many cities that have the same makeup, there's still a lot of people that live in food deserts. For anyone in our audience who might not know what a food desert is, can you explain what a food desert is and then how Gooder combats the reality of food deserts?
So a food desert is when someone is not living in a near proximity to fresh and healthy foods. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about produce, when we talk about getting fresh meats and fresh vegetables, those things are very foreign to thousands and thousands of families in every single city that you could go to. So we try and go directly into food deserts and bring our mobile grocery store so that we kind of eliminate that. One of the biggest things we've always said at Gooder is that hunger isn't an issue of scarcity, it's a matter of logistics. And so it really is about going right where there is a need.
Yeah, and I think the logistics part of it, I love that you have the Gooder mobile grocery store because you can quite literally drive to wherever people need help and literally help them eat. And I think that's incredible.
Right away.
But you talked a little bit about Googling how food waste is such a huge part of our society, unfortunately. What was the most surprising fact that in your initial search that you found that a lot of people might not even realize?
I don't think people realize how much food goes to waste. So in this country, we waste 40% of all the food that we prepare. And that's a lot of food. I mean, it's about 72 billion pounds, and that's billion with the B. So a lot of perfectly good food goes to waste while people go hungry. And so that is what I learned, which just blew me away and actually really made me upset.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about how much, you know, spoilage, when you're traveling, like things like that happen, how have you known food waste to start in our homes? And what are some ways that we can little by little make sure that we're not contributing to the 40% of food that is wasted?
I think the biggest thing is to realize that first, we are a problem. So the average family is wasting about 1,600 pounds of food a year. That sounds like a lot, because it really is. It's just like, it's a lot. Milk and dairy being the most of those.
Yeah.
One of the things that I started doing is I shop for meals, which is, sometimes it takes a little bit more time, but I used to be the person that would go to the grocery store on Sunday and I'm gonna make all these meals and I'm gonna buy all this stuff, and then I'd go home and order delivery, right? So now I'm very much like, I'm gonna make spaghetti tonight, and I go to the grocery store and I stop and get what I need for spaghetti. And I'm not getting like all this other stuff, because if it's gonna go to waste, I am, you know, more than likely gonna be part of the problem. Also, some grocery stores actually will like cut meat packages in half for you, so you just have to ask. Like, if you know you don't need, 12 pieces of chicken and it's just you can ask for 4 so that you could really not waste and cook and be able to eat everything that you prepare.
I love that. And when we think about like grocery stores, restaurants, a lot of the people who do get large amounts of food, how does that compare with like households when it comes to waste? And what are some ways that business owners can also not be a part of the problem?
I think business owners do have to invest in solutions like Gooder, to where there is a service that can come and get your excess food and get it to local nonprofits, because right now it really does go to waste. And a lot of businesses, and for years it's been because of fear of liability or other things where they've traditionally just let that food go to waste. But we've got to get over that fear, because we have millions of people in this country, our neighbors, that are going hungry every single day, and we just cannot have that. So I think business owners could do the same thing, not as much batch cooking, reducing the amount of food waste that they are going, and also source reduction, right? If you're making something and you're realizing every single day you're wasting it, why are you making so much of it? Start making a little bit less. So those are some of the things businesses could do.
That's helpful tips. I'm over here. I wish I had a notebook, because that's really helpful. Now, we are here. The Gooder Mobile Grocery Store is right behind us. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing today in the community and where we are.
Yes, so we are in Southwest Atlanta. This is where I actually first lived when I first moved to Atlanta, so it's really important to me. Big Bethel Village, I used to feed in this senior home in 2015, so I would cook meals and deliver them to the seniors, so I got to know a lot of them. Thankfully, many of them are still here, and sadly, some of them I have lost. So this is a really personal place to me, and I brought them the mobile grocery store first because it meant a lot to me. They were the inspiration on why our mobile grocery store has a wheelchair lift, because I realized that so many seniors are experiencing food insecurity, and it's just something that people don't talk about. We hear a lot about children being hungry, and definitely children deserve to eat as well, but our seniors have worked all their lives. These are our teachers, our firemen, our police, everybody that you could think of, and then they get to be 75 and they're so forgotten about. A lot of seniors are getting anywhere from $11 to $100 a month in food stamps, because it's based on their income, and they're just not in their household size, right? So it's based on income and household size, but no one's going to be able to go into any grocery store in this country with $16 and feed themselves for a month. So a lot of them love when we come out and we just bring it out, and we tell them, hey, we're going to be here on this day from this time. And they were here about an hour earlier before we were supposed to start. Okay, they're like, we're not missing this. We were supposed to start at 1. I pulled up at 11 something. They were already out here. So they are not missing it. So they get to come on and go shopping for free.
I love that. And I think there's something so powerful that you just said about making sure that our wheelchairs were accessible, making sure that everyone could go in there and shop.
Yeah,
everybody
eats. Yes, that's the whole plan.
I think that is beautiful that this is one of the first places that you even figured out that the mobile grocery store was so important. Okay. When you come back here and you hear stories from these seniors, what does it make you feel when you hear thank you for making sure that these meals are here?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of purpose. Even this morning when I was on it and prepping, and the first family of seniors that got on, she's like, oh, thank y'all for coming back. Y'all always remember us. And it's just, people want to be felt and they want to be remembered, and too often they feel forgotten. So I think just hearing y'all always remember us is really good. And then also giving people dignity, because too often, and that's one of the reasons why Gooder was so different with my approach, is I volunteered at a lot of food banks and food pantries, and I just saw them giving people boxes of food or bags of food with no thought to what do they eat, no thought to can they prepare this, are they allergic to this, this is just what we got donated, this is what we're going to give to you, and go on about your way. So we really make sure that we have almond milk and 2% milk and whole milk and oat milk, and that we have vegan meat options, and we think about the person. I think we really are dignity first, and that's kind of our big model, dignity first and people first.
I love that. Yeah. I never thought about that, but that's absolutely true. You usually walk away with a big box of
whatever
just food, whatever it is.
And so much of that goes to waste. It's part because you're not getting stuff that you want. Yeah, so it's a big problem.
Dignity first. Shout out to you in creating that model, because I'm sure people, look, we all bougie at some point, right? We just all know what we want and what we like, and I think it's important. Exactly. I think that's important to know the difference. Now, we are about to go back inside in a second, so y'all can come with us. But take me through the experience of what is actually happening inside. How is it set up? What's the vibe in the Gooder Mobile Grocery Store?
So it's a produce section. So it's a little, if you think of everything that's in your grocery store and then try and put it on 2 aisles, that's kind of the best way I could describe it. So if you're going down one aisle on the grocery store and there's something to your right, something to your left, that's what we've kind of done and condensed it. So we have a freezer section, we have a refrigerated section where we keep all of the meats. We also have a refrigerated section that has things like juice and butter and cheese. We also have milk and eggs for everybody. And we have a bread section, which is kind of our bakery section, shelf-stable items, and then, of course, a lot of produce. So lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, and we constantly switch it up. Whatever's in season is what we're putting on the bus.
Period. I think that's so beautiful to see people experiencing it right now. You literally see the line of folks waiting to get inside because it's very lit. I can't wait to go in and see how you did all the aisles in these two places.
Yes. But it took me a long time. I think that's the other thing. I started trying to raise the funds to build this store back in 2020, and I only was able to launch it in 2023. So we're talking 3 years of like vision and work and what this could look like. So now that it's here, it's game changing. I mean, we get messages on our social media. People like, bring the bus here. Oh, I need to get back on that bus. I want to get on the bus. I don't think people have ever wanted to get on a bus so badly in their lives. Like, this is a bus that everyone wants to get on.
Oh, yes, the bus that every city needs. And I think with more support, Gooder can hopefully have buses in every city.
We're talking to a lot of other cities and different states even at a national level that want to see us.
Logistically, for people who might want to know, how does Gooder work? What is the infrastructure of giving back and making sure that hunger is ending?
So we have a different model. We are a B Corp. So I think other B Corps, I always tell people, are like Ben and Jerry's, Warby Parker. So we exist for the benefit of the public, but also the planet. So on one side, we're all about reducing food waste. And in that realm, we operate almost as a waste management company, right? Because somebody's always being paid to throw food away. We operate as a waste diversion company, right? Businesses pay us to take this food and not get it in landfill, instead to get it to people in need. And if it's not good food, then we'll recycle it. We'll compost it. We'll do something like that. On the hunger side, we work with a lot of sponsors, and we say, how many families can we feed together? Let's come up with a budget. And we have been fortunate to have a lot of sponsors, like everybody from Kroger has been a sponsor. We've been able to work with brands like Verizon. We've been able to work with different celebrities. Just yesterday, we were working with Little Baby. So we work with everybody to feed people in a dignified way.
I think that is so powerful to hear. And shout out to Kroger, because they are the reason why we were able to get this bus here at the Big Bethel Senior Village for nothing, no cost to anyone here. So thank you to Kroger for making sure that the seniors here feel fed. And like you said, some of our most vulnerable in our community, and they need our respect and support and love and food. So we're about to head over in there.
And they need it for free.
And for free, please. I know. But look, thank you so much, Jasmine, for your work. Thank you so much for making sure Gooder is still here. Y'all make sure you support Gooder. We're going to get to the Gooder mobile grocery store. I'm going to take y'all inside and maybe even talk to a few of the seniors. We're going to see what they say.
I love it.